Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Bartels with Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation. I am joined here today by Logan O'Hoppy, professional baseball player, now in the Los Angeles Angels organization, and a supporter of Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation. So, Logan, thank you for being with me here today. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And so, we'll dive into everything surrounding Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation and your support, but just starters, partially from my own fandom, just talk about leading up to the trade deadline and getting traded. You were with the Phillies organization. Now you had to move kind of on a dime. So now I guess you're in Alabama now. Is that correct?
I am in Alabama, and I feel like I just realized that a couple days ago. It's been a crazy week, but yeah, in Alabama now. And then got traded on August 2nd. It was a Tuesday, and I got a call that afternoon at around 3:15, 3:30, and I was on a flight at 1:30 on Wednesday. So it was a pretty quick turnaround.
How tough is that as a minor leaguer? Just I mean, I guess maybe you knew it was coming, but you really like. How did you find out first? Do you find out through like insiders, like everybody else, because that's kind of the nature of things now on Twitter, or?
No, I mean all that stuff is out of your control. And I always say you don't know until you know. And in that case, the Phillies called me and let me know that I was traded, and was immediately called by the people at the Angels, and they were so welcoming to me and made the transition much easier. But yeah, that's how we find out. So I try to stay off of Twitter as much as I can.
So obviously, you're still continuing your success. You've now hit your goal of 20 home runs. First of all, can you just kind of tell people what you have been doing this season as far as your involvement with Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation?
Yeah, so earlier in the year, I talked about this before, but last year my dad I got diagnosed with lymphoma, um, and that kind of that shocked me a bit. Ended up being a blessing in disguise. I'll get to that later, um, but yeah, I mean, cancer is always something that me and my family is affected by. Lost a couple aunts earlier in high school too from it, Aunt Dana and Camille, and they were people that we were really close with, and that we felt like got taken from us way too soon. So um, after Dad's news, it kind of shocked me, and then what kind of put the cherry on top was Corey Phelan, who was a kid I trained with in the off season, and he is part of the Phillies organization now, and still was at the time when he got diagnosed, and that's what really sparked me wanting to really do something about it, because obviously when you're younger at a young age you feel like you can't do much because physically you can't, but I talked to the people over at ACES, my agency, who are beyond incredible, and they helped me put this together with Alex's Lemonade. We did a bunch of research and um, on what we wanted to do and who we wanted to do it with, and Alex's Lemonade was by far the best fit. So it's been really great, and the whole gist of it is the campaign is every home run I hit this year, I'm donating $25 to this cause, and then anyone that wants to donate or pledge money as well can do that too. So yeah, we set the goal for 20 home runs, and that was just a personal goal to start. But then I added it to this, and thought that would be enough to raise some eyebrows and get the attention from people to get involved in this. And I'm really really happy that we achieved it, and couldn't have done it without a lot of people's help.
Yeah, was that a goal from kind of a baseball standpoint first, as far as like your actual goal this season?
Um, at first it was, yeah, and then I was like, I can use that, and hopefully that'll give us enough momentum to keep this thing rolling, man. So we're not done yet. We still got about 5 weeks left in the year, and um, hopefully the homers will come. But when they do come, then $25 will definitely be going to the cause.
That is so awesome. And just talk about like how cool it is that you're really, I mean, this is your job, which is a very cool job. It's also just something I'm sure that you love to do. A lot of people love playing sports at any level. How cool is it that you can kind of just do what you love, continue doing that, and just by doing that, you're helping fight childhood cancer?
Yeah, well, that's what I love about it is that, I mean, you can make a difference or try to bring awareness to it by just playing, and I know a lot of people love coming to games and watching baseball and keeping up with it, but that's why I thought, I feel like it would kill two birds with one stone. It'd make other people happy and raise awareness to this, and I think it's done that so far.
I just want to go back to something that you said, that your dad's diagnosis and his situation ended up being a blessing in disguise for you.
Mhm. Yeah. So he got diagnosed last August, right around when the trade was, actually August 2nd, of the year before, obviously, and he's cured now, and he's all good, and he kicked its butt. But yeah, when I say blessing in disguise, I put everything in perspective, because Dad had such a good attitude while he was going through all that, and fighting through that, and showed me that anything I go through in my personal life is nowhere close to as bad as the things he went through. Um, so yeah, it kind of realigned my perspective on everything, and yeah, it is weird how life works, but that was definitely a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, so you obviously know firsthand how tough cancer can be, how tough it can be to go through it. And when you think about kids having to go through that, through the treatment, fight for their life, as young, some of them even before they turn 1 years old, just like how hard is it hearing that?
Oh, it's terrible. I feel like it's something that is unfortunately growing and becoming more common. But like I said, that's why I love working with Alex's Lemonade Stand, because they actually do something about it. They don't just donate money to a cause, or they don't just promote things. They actually do something about it, and sit down and have meetings with doctors, and really try to find a cure. So that's what kind of got me hooked into wanting to work with them, is because I'm a big believer in not just talking about it, doing something about it. And I feel like Alex's Lemonade Stand is exactly that.
So take me through your swing a little bit here, if you don't mind. Obviously, talking baseball is great, but it's also a swing that is yeah, helping to cure cancer. So if you don't mind, like talking a little bit about it from the baseball standpoint, but also kind of mixing in how much it inspires you to continue to hit home runs because of what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it just takes my mind off the negativity of it. It keeps everything positive, and I'm a big believer that when I play, that positive thoughts are really important. So, um, yeah, I mean, it definitely helps me through it, especially if there's a bad game. If I have a tough game and I have a couple more at bats, I know, hey, we can do this and get 25 bucks more poor. But yeah, that does keep me going, and it helps my head a lot.
One swing of the bat and more money could be going towards childhood cancer, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the mindset.
Um, have you always had power? Did you have to work for your power, or kind of where did that come from?
Um, I don't even know, to be honest with you. I didn't hit many homers in high school. Didn't hit many my first year either. But it's just something that kind of happened. I didn't work on that specifically in the off season or anything. It kind of just happened as I got stronger and older. And yeah, I feel like I will never have an idea on how to hit, but I got something that's working for me, and I'm gonna stick with it.
And what about being a catcher? Is that something that you've always done?
Yes, yeah. Since I was 9 years old, I love it.
What drew you to that position?
Um, yeah, I tried it out when I was 9. A younger kid, I had a tough time paying attention to other positions in the little league, so I tried that one, and then that kept me locked in, and I fell in love with it. Man, there's so much you can do in different ways you can impact the game. So yeah, it's a position I fell in love with at a young age.
That's awesome. For other kids out there, whether whatever sport they're really playing, like what would you say to them to get a part of the Champions program through Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation? How would you encourage them?
Yeah, I mean, you're never too young to do something like this, or to try to make a difference. So I would say communicating and getting involved. I feel like those are the best ways to make a difference. So communication is key, man, and a drive to do it all. So obviously, um, the news that drove me wasn't ideal with your friends getting sick, but again, it has helped a lot of people be able to add to something to make a difference. I hope so. Um, yeah, that would be my advice to the young kids out there.
Yeah, and how many people at your level are? I mean, I really don't know the answer to this. How many players, in the minor leagues are involved with charity organizations?
More than you would think. I know a lot of teams have different events that they do. You can sign up for different events and stuff like that. So they do happen more often than a lot of people think. And it comes with the job, and it's a great part of the job that I'm really grateful to have. It's a resource that a lot of guys can use, and because it's tough being on the road so much, and your schedule is pretty tight, but the team does a good job of giving us those chances to do something and to try to make a difference in the community. So, yeah, my answer is more than you would think.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's good to know. But for you, what did it mean that, Alex's was something that you kind of had a personal connection to, and you kind of talked about it a little bit, but you truly kind of believed in what we were doing.
Yeah, like I said, I did my research. It took a couple weeks. We were looking at different places and different ideas on what to do, and yeah, when I read that people at Alex's Lemonade Stand sit down with doctors and really work to find a cure, that's what did it for me, because actions are always louder than words. So it's something that I instantly believed in, and that hopefully I'll continue to work with for quite some time.
Have your teammates said anything? Do they know? Obviously, you have some new teammates now, but even in the past, like, did they know what you were doing?
They did, yeah. It was funny when it first started. I would come in and everyone's like 25, 25. So yeah, it is pretty cool to have that as again a distraction for them if things aren't going well. You can always look at it and say, all right, we are helping a good thing here. But yeah, so I wouldn't say it's a popular thing by any means, but yeah, I think my teammates know what's going on.
That's awesome. And you've been doing a great job of promoting it, but just talk a little bit about like the ease of what you're doing and kind of how like anyone could do it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I started, or I had the idea of this campaign, and I started to put it together and formulate it. And I talked to Erica over at Aces, and we had put it together, and it was really easy. I went right on the website and started it, and set up my page, and did all that, and had the link to it. So it is super easy, and yeah, like I said, like to your point, anyone could do it, and if they feel that they want to.
Did you hear about the story of Alex, the founder of Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation?
I did, yes.
And when you hear that story, just what does that make you feel? How does it inspire you?
I mean, it's incredible. I don't have words to describe it. But when I had read it, that was a pretty teary-eyed moment. I was sitting. I'll never forget it. I was sitting in Reading, Pennsylvania at the time, and I was eating breakfast. I was at a Panera, and I was reading it, and I was literally had tears in my eyes. It was pretty crazy. And if I think about it, then I'll get choked up about it. So I don't think about it too much. But yeah, I mean, it's just so important. I feel really strongly about curing this disease and doing something about this, because it's getting way too common. It's affecting way too many people that it shouldn't. So, yeah, I mean, it hits close to home, obviously, but reading stories like that just makes it dig even deeper.
I know, your career is ahead of you, and who knows what's going to come. But do you see yourself in some way, shape, or form staying connected with Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I hope they want to work with me for a while. So I hope that this campaign was a good first step in the right direction.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that you would want people to know about, like what you're doing or Alex's or anything like that?
Well, I don't even know if I told the people at Alex's yet, but I've been trying to plan some events going forward too in the off season. So hopefully there will be more to come, but there's a lot more planning that's going to go into that. But yeah, we're working on it.
All right. And if you want to donate, you have your Twitter. Do you have the links to Alex's right there pinned to your Twitter?
Yep, in my Twitter and Instagram bio, you can click and you could just click donate or pledge, um, and it'll take you to the page, and you can read about it and see how many people have helped, and because it's taken quite an army. I've been pretty shocked to see how many people have wanted to get involved and have helped. So super grateful for all them. But yeah, you can click on that link and get involved yourself.
Awesome. Thank you, Logan. I really appreciate you taking the time here today.
No problem. Thank you so much.